Quiet. How you doing, everybody, and welcome to another Fly UK stream. And this again is with Jerry acting as first officer. So Jerry is an Airbus A320 pilot in real life. I'm a private pilot in real life, and today we're actually going doing a daytime flight, A to B daytime flight from San Francisco all the way to Las Vegas. I was going to say Viva Las Vegas, you know. But yeah, it's going to be incredible. It seems like the day flights seem to work really well last time, especially this time of night. Yeah, we'll get started. We'll first of all, before we go any further, we'll turn the rest of the sort of power on and do our flow check. So we'll put the APU on, and we'll start that. We'll put the seatbelt signs on, smoke into auto, emergency lights armed, and crew oxygen supply, ADIRS is on. Again, testing the nice fire test. It was a little bit hard to get that. There we go. We don't want to be pressing that, that's for sure. Once you press it, you can't go back. Okay, we'll put the pumps on and put the bleed on there, and finally testing the cargo smoke alarm. Okay, so while they're powering up, and so there's some requests there. Can you do a flight to Cairo one day? Yeah, well, I'm sure we can actually.
We could.
Hey, John Hamilton over on YouTube. How you doing? Matthew Allen, a business class sort of Patreon member. Thanks ever so much, Matthew, for your support as well. So before we go any further, let's go and mention who we have on board on Patreon. So we've got 8 Patreons now, which is incredible. So let's go in there, have a look at that, and let's go on. Who's on board? So in economy, we still have an empty cabin. So nobody's actually signed up to economy just yet. But in business, there was one person that actually went into economy and signed up to the Patreon economy class, and then decided he wanted to have a sneaky upgrade, which is pretty cool. So he's gone up to business class now. So let's go and have a look at the business class members. Living History UK, the Aviation Guy, Matthew Allen, Niall, and Steve Rowe. They're all business class passengers, and just save it sort of scrolling. Well, we'll wait for it to scroll all the way through. So they are the business class Patreon members on the stream tonight. So there's 50 seats available. It's limited to 50 only, and yeah, I think there's, is it 5 or 5 there? 4? I think there's 4. No, 5. Five business members. We'll see. It'll go back round now anyway. So we got Living History UK, the Aviation Guy, Matthew Allen, Niall Conway, Steve Rowe. There we go, 5. So thank you ever so much. Yeah, Tom Fitzy, welcome to the stream. And in first class we have Christian. So Christian is not alone anymore in first class. We've got Christian, we've got Craig Salter, we've got John Restle in first class. So there's a few seats left there in first class, and it is limited. It is limited to 12 seats only in first class. So it's incredible. So yeah. So sorry, Swipe. I'm not too sure what you're asking there. Thanks for the shares as well. And one small thing. So we'll go back to the live view of the flight deck. And I just want to mention, for the benefit of everybody over on the TikTok side, let's go and have a look at our top gifters from the last stream. So the top gifters from the last stream, Honey J30 with 1,771 diamonds. We had Kim Southern Dog Training, 499 diamonds, and Margaret Walton one with 1 diamond. Thank you for the top gifters. So the next top gifters on TikTok will be getting a mention on the next simulator stream, so remember that. So whatever happens on this simulator stream for the top gifters will be mentioned on the next simulator stream. So it's just something new that I'm bringing out for the benefit of the TikTokers. Thank you ever so much for the gifts from those people. So yeah. Do you get cordial in first class? John Hamilton wants to know. Maybe actually, maybe with a little bit of drop of something potent in there as well, you know, of your tipple of your choice. So Microwave Dave, how you doing to the stream as well? Callum Roy, for some reason my friend cannot see my flight plan on your controls and fly-by-wire A320NX. What do we do about this? Okay, so Callum Roy, so there is you have to use essentially one of you has to load in that flight plan. You can't sort of try and both load it in, and then it should come through. Apart from that, I can't really help you out. There is a little bit of you know, magic involved with the shared. There's the magic of the shared sort of cockpit experience. But and Matthew Allen, obviously Patreon member, as you've just seen, just looking through this 77-page flight plan for my flight for LJ to LSGG in my Cessna longitude, and good to see more people taking up seats in the business class and first class. Oh, that's cool, Matthew. Best of luck with that flight plan as well. Okay, so let's get started, because I don't want to sort of keep you too long. So we're going from San Francisco to Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas.
Viva
Las Vegas. That's as much as I'm doing, Dan. That's it.
Do you know what though? There was somebody on the one of the previous streams where I think I was playing a bit of piano, and somebody said, "Well, I bet Jerry can't do that." And I said, "But do you know what though? Jerry's also musical. I bet he didn't tell you that he also plays the Irish whistle. How cool is that?" So I said maybe if I ever get to Ireland, we could have a bit of a jam session. I'll bring my guitar over, and we'll go and hit the pubs in Dublin or something. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be excellent.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do? Actually, Jerry, we haven't had a walk round. I'm just wondering whether you mind giving us a walk round.
I don't mind. It's actually a nice sunny day out there. So just hold on, just give me 30 seconds to get outside, and I'll give you a shout. Open the window and you'll hear me.
Okay. Can you open these windows? I don't know. No, probably not. We'll wait for Jerry to get down there, and then when he is down there, he's going to give us a walk around the Airbus A320, which will be fantastic.
Okay, Dan, you can go.
Okay. All right, I'll switch over to the Jerry cam. So the Jerry cam, here he is. Jerry is outside. Let's go and switch to the wireless comms so that you'll be able to hear Jerry properly, and just do that now. Okay, Jerry, loud and clear. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There we go. So we've got some comms on the outside of the aircraft now, and I'll leave it up to Jerry to go and do a walk around.
Yeah, okay. So I'll start the walk around here, Dan, just by looking at the front and just making sure that it's, you know, there's no marks, there's no and there's basically no damage to the front of the radome there, and just the little square that I'm looking at, that's the static port, so that looks all clear from where I am. I just want to get closer into the wheel there, and let's have a little look up into the bay. Let me see. Basically, I'm just checking here for the health of the lights, make sure that they're not cracked and they seem to be working fine, and also, what's very important, that we don't see any hydraulic fluid actually dripping down onto the wheels there around the front. So that looks all pretty healthy. Again, I'll come back out, and as we just check, there's two more static ports there. Going on down towards looking at the upper inner root, looking into the engine. Oh, it looks good there. There's no birds or nests flying around from the previous flight, or somebody trying to make themselves a little home in there. Checking out the wheel, making sure again we have no hydraulics fluid that's on the ground. Always looking on the ground right there is where the best indication is, because if there's a hydraulic leak, that's exactly where you're going to see the first few drips. So all looks pretty clean there, and even up into the hydraulic bay, I don't see anything there. Can you do me a favor, Dan? Can you put out the landing light? The landing light. Yeah, the right hand side landing light. I just want to see there's a pop down out of the wing here. Yeah, and I can see it popping out, so that's all looking pretty good. You can put that back in again, please. Thank you. Oh, it's so bright. My future is so bright. So you can put that back in. Thank you very much. So looking back out, the wing looks clean, so we'll have a little walk down along the leading edge, making sure we didn't hit anything, or the previous crew didn't hit anything, I should say. And underneath looks all pretty clean. Dan, I forgot to switch on the navigation lights. Can you just make sure the strobe and the navigation light is on there? Oh, there we go. That's great. You might as well. That's perfect. They're working. You can switch them off. Thank you very much. So there we go. You can leave the navigation light on actually, because I'll leave it on the far side. Wings all look pretty good there. It doesn't look like we've actually hit anything, or no damage, or basically anything that you look like that's out of place. Looking up the back of the engine again, it's nice and clean. There's no problems there that I can see. Just looking down along the fuselage, then we'll just have just a little walk around. Yeah, there we go. The wings look the horizontal stabilizer looks correct. Yeah. You just put. You have the noisy APU on. I have to put my ear defenders in. There we go. Yeah. Actually looks well. There's a lot of vision distortion around the back of the APU. That's only the heat, so there's nothing wrong there. So going looking at the horizontal stabilizer on the other side. Dan, I see they have the charter company has put Fly UK up on the ridge. That's very nice. Oh wow! Look at that. That's pretty good of them, isn't it? So all those little fins that's sticking out of the bottom, they're all antenna for VHF radios. They are looking like they're in good shape there as well. And having a look down into the wheel, I don't see any hydraulic fluid leaks. Looking up, that looks fairly clean there. Okay, and into the back of the engine, looking up as I walk down along the edge. No damage. Looks like we have a pretty good clean aircraft. Seen it?
It's absolutely fantastic. And do you know what's it's impressive having these wireless comms so that I can communicate really clear with you from the outside. Absolutely. I mean, it's a new technology I've heard that they've supplied to the crew. It
is. I see the red light is on. Dan, just while we're here, would you mind just switching the strobe on so I can see that working here as well?
Yeah, I'll switch the strobe on as well. There we go.
I should have. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you very much. It's all working good. So leading edge all looks good, and the last thing I'll do is just have a little look up the front of the engine, making sure that there's nothing again, no birds, nothing nesting there from the previous flight, and the wheels look pretty decent. So as far as I'm concerned, Dan, that's a good walk around.
Thank you very much. And switching back over to the inside cam now. So I'm back in the flight deck, and I'm just going to continue setting up the box here. So if I just go into this one here, done. There we go. And I'm just going to init request this, bringing our flight plans from San Francisco to Vegas.
There we go, Dan. All sorted into there. That's great. Let me get back in the seat.
Thank you very much, Jerry. And welcome back.
Thank you.
So yeah, just setting up the box. So you might not have heard me while you sort of transition in from the outside to the inside. I just want to make sure everything's set up here. I've already started loading the passengers, and you might be able to sort of hear them in the back, or start hearing them in the back there. So let's have a look. I do need to load the fuel, so let's go and have a look at the flight plan.
Sure.
Over on this side of things. Okay, so it looks like we got required 5.5 tons of fuel. There's no extra that's been planned for over on the flight plan side. Shall we?
Yeah, we can bump it up. Yeah, we can bump it up to 6 tons. Yeah,
6
tons.
We'll
adjust the weights at the end. Where the weights that come back? Actually, no, the weights will come back perfect because the 6 tons will be on board.
Yeah, 6 tons. 6 tons of fuel, and we'll get that started too. Yeah. Captain JP said, you guys take this flight simulation to a different level. Love it. Keep it as real as possible. Niall, welcome on board. He's our latest, one of our latest Patreon members, Niall Conway. Welcome on board. What was that sound there, Jerry?
I'll show you in a minute. Keep going down through the questions on TikTok.
Oh wow, it's incredible. Very, very impressive. Yeah, I just appreciate everyone that's on board, and obviously, joining the flights today. And it's in the day as well, so we can get some views as we climb out. Okay, just so we can. Trying to reset my views here.
Oh, Kim's in. I just didn't see her there.
Hey, Kim's in. It's fantastic.
Okay, I can't remember who it was, Dan, but they did ask. They said it was a very silly question. Is there wipers on the windows? And that is not a silly question, right?
It's not
Dan,
a silly question.
Can you just switch on the wipers and show them actually in work?
Yeah. So the aircraft, the Airbus A320, has two sides to the wipers. So you can switch it on there. Look, there's the left-hand side wiper, and I'll turn that off and switch the right-hand side on. And there's a few settings. There's slow and fast. I mean, obviously, the engineers would, or the captain, the captains for the next flight would probably not be impressed of dry sort of scraping the wipers across the window screen. But for this stream, we're going to do it for you to demonstrate the wipers.
And just as absolute trivia, there's a speed limitation of 230 knots on the wipers. Anything above that, you don't use them yet.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so there you go.
My blender is quieter than those wipers. How funny! How funny! Yeah, they're probably right. You know. Kim has said, "How are my favourite pilots?" She can't be talking about us, Jerry. She can't be talking about us.
Dan.
I don't know. But I tell you what. While you're here, actually, watch this, Kim. Watch this. So, here's the top gifters from the last stream. There we go, top gifters. Honey J30, Kim Southern Dog Training over on TikTok. Look at that. So that's a bit of a thank you to all the gifters over on TikTok as well. I mean, this is going out to multiple platforms, but that is just to say thank you to the gifters over on TikTok. And funny enough, Kim is in here as one of the top gifters. Hi Stevie B6971, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. How many years flying experience does Jerry hold? Oh, blimey!
Oh, that's an interesting. Okay,
you're going to be showing your age now.
No,
Jerry.
I don't. No, I don't mind. I'm at the top end of 40 of the 40ish years. Won't soon turning 50, and all in all, since I was 18, so 32 years. Yeah.
Blimey! So you're flying with the Wright brothers, weren't you? I think is that right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, me. I used to do the walk around for Orville.
Thanks for the gifts again, Kim. Honestly, behave yourself. No more gifts from you. I think you had a bit of a battle on the last stream with the gifts. So
it was a gift battle, wasn't it?
It was a gift battle. Yeah. She's Pilot Northern Ireland says she's talking about me, Dan. maybe James. Maybe that's the key. Okay, so let's just see how our passengers are doing. Just while
I think fuel's on board. The passengers are all good there.
Perfect. Let's have a look at the. Okay, so we've got 95 passengers out of the 174. Blimey, they need to hurry up, don't they?
They do. They do.
Yeah, so we're happy to take any more questions. If you've got any more questions about flying. While we're doing it, we can set the departure runway. So Jerry's going to set up the departure.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were busy there.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's just amazing this multi crew experience. Over on within the Airbus A320 really does make it. We've got the pushback crew ready for when we are ready to depart, and I think that. Am I right by saying that there are no sort of active ATC tonight, I'm afraid?
No, unfortunately there isn't.
So we're going to have to give that a miss. But San Francisco is stunning, apparently, to depart out of. And one of my TikTok friends over on here, Al Jackson, has actually flew out of San Francisco and landed at San Francisco for real. Thanks, thanks for the gifts, Matty, Kim. I really appreciate Matthew as well. You're spoiling us here. You're spoiling us. So does Microsoft Flight Simulator have random failures on? Johnny has asked 181.
There is, Dan, but don't forget we're operating the hybrid model here of the mod. This is a mod that we're using.
Okay, yes.
So we seen the other night that it doesn't really work too well. However, what we should do someday is probably pick, say, the likes of a King Air or whatever. You can actually set up the random failure.
Oh, that's a good point. Yvonne Island, who's a cabin crew today, said, "Sorry guys, slight problem with the hand baggage at the moment, contributing to slow boarding." Okay, that makes explains. Sense. That does explain why. Sometimes you wonder, what you're doing in the flight deck. You're thinking, well, what's actually happening out there,
Yeah.
And it's only until obviously flight crew in the back can actually give us a little bit of an update, because they're busy working hard. Yeah. They're trying to keep everybody happy, So I'm sure that they've got a lot to deal with when we're slightly behind on the boarding. So how do you set up centre of gravity? How do you set up the trim centre of gravity? So that's a great question. Tom Spire 8.
Fantastic question.
So what we're going to do is we've got to wait until we've finished. So the fuel boarding's finished. We've got to wait until the passengers have finished boarding. So what we're going to do is have a look at that now, just see how we're going on. And like you say, Yvonne over in the cabin has told us that there's a few sort of baggage handling problems which is causing our delays. So at the moment we've got 129 out of the 174, 130 now. But you'll see that our zero fuel weight centre of gravity is basically increasing and moving around as that number increases. As soon as we stop boarding, we'll get a true centre of gravity reading here, and then once we've done that, we can actually go over to our wheel here, and you'll see that you've got the CG on the left hand side, 20, 25, 30, and you adjust that wheel, and you see the arrow here, you adjust that wheel so it's in line with whatever is reading zero fuel weight center of gravity over here. And once you do that, we then start looking at this wheel here where it's got down and up, and we take a reading there, and that's what we use in our performance panel on the MacDo computer, for flight management computer, if it's equivalent of flight management computer in Boeing. And we essentially put this flap settings, so it would be 1// and then we'd have that reading there, points 4 up or 0.4 down, or whatever the reading is, we place it in there, and then from that we can get our V1, VR and V2 speeds. And is that correct, Joey? I feel like
you've nailed it. Now, okay. in the real world, there's separate software you distribute that out to, and then you bring it back in. However, the guys have done a great job for this mod. Just on a side note as well, if you also pull up the weight and balance on the menu on Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can actually see the CAG live there changing on the right hand side. You get your fuel balance on each of the tanks and so forth. It's pretty impressive. So it's the exact same data being translated down into the box.
Yeah, and I don't think I have actually got the because I've turned a load of things off.
Oh, okay. Well, on the weight and balance, you can do it there. I have it actually open there.
Okay, let's go to the Jerry cam. I keep forgetting we've got another view. So Jerry's sitting at the right hand side seat, and thanks again for the gifts, everybody that's gifting over on TikTok. I do appreciate it, and tapping that screen, it does help. We've got quite a few people on there on the other streams as well, which is really cool. So hi to those over on Twitch and over on YouTube as well. Thanks, it's Taylor for joining the stream, and those others on YouTube as well.
There you go, Dan. Just this quick pictorial view there on the right hand side of that graph, you can just see where the center of gravity is, where the limits are, and so on. But that exact information is being sensed by the box.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Dan and Jerry, passengers are all nearly on. Okay, well we will check that. So we'll go to our MacDo menu, and we'll just make sure that is the case. I don't think we should. I don't think we'll be too far off, will we? 164 out of 174, so we're nearly there. We were about 9 off from boarding. So as soon as that's done, we can finish the setup and the performance page.
Okay. Well, while you're waiting on that, Dan, I've just set the departure for runway 01 in the box there. I'll just give you a quick overview on it, what we're doing. Once we get out to the runway, we'll be expecting to push back right-hand tail direction, and we taxi down to the runway. Once we get on the runway, check the flex set by 80, call 100 V1 and rotate on the engine and flight instruments, call any failure affecting safety. In the event of a safety before V1, you're going to call stop or go. In the event of a stop, close thrust levers and select back to reverse. I'll call spoilers, reverse, decel 100 knots, 70 knots, we call ATC. We take no further actions. The aircraft has come to a stop. Reverses are cancelled and the parking brake is set. In the event of a failure at or after V1, or if you call go, You continue to take off while raise the landing gear is normal and silence all warns and announce the failure. And once stabilized, you consider toga and then autopilot. And about 400 feet, which will reach about 500 on the QNH, you consider primary cam actions. Departure off runway 01 today is the Stek 5. We basically go straight ahead. We're going once we get up past 520 feet, max 210 knots. We go to a GPS point called Stick. We're left-hand turn down to Port A. We need to be below flight level 100 for Port A. Takes us out to a point called Foyle, Lebo, and then on to Young. And from there, ATC will direct us. Any questions?
No, that looks fine within the MACD. I've just checked that as you were asking. It's got the flight level 100 in there as well.
Actually, I just put the altitude of flight level 100 in the box there. It's belts and braces. Belts and braces.
Wow. Okay. So that's so you can actually manually override that and put sort of limits in for yourself. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, if you look at that, if you were to look at that departure on the plate, it actually states that when you go from Sticks, which is the first point, with a left-hand turn to Port A, it says you need to be under 10,000 feet, even though the climb clearance is 19,000. Once you have a constraint to be under 10,000 feet, it's good to airmanship just to put the maximum what you need to be under by that point in that altitude window, because you don't want to bust it. If you don't catch it by the computer, you'll catch it manually.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the so 174 passengers are now on board.
Super.
We're now going to get that sensor of weight, gravity, sensor gravity weight, sorry. So zero fuel weight, sensor of gravity is 24.1, so 24. So we're going to move this wheel to 24. And I would say it was around 1 up, would you,
Yeah,
Jerry?
that's about right, yeah.
That's about right?
That's about right, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go to the performance page. We're going to do flaps 1, and we're going to go 1 up, and we're going to populate that there. We're going to, actually before I do that, go to the in page. And put the zero fuel weight in.
Declare all
I've just realised that. There we go, and we've got 6 tons of fuel in today. There we go.
As Giza says, motion lotion.
Motion lotion, as Pilot Giza would say. Yeah.
Oh, I bet Lucky might pop in tonight. Hello.
Hopefully he's over the Rona.
Oh yeah. I seen one of his TikToks earlier on.
Yeah.
And he's locked in.
He's locked in.
Love him.
Okay, so we're all good in terms of that now. And we can then call for the pushback truck. But should we do the before start checklist?
Yeah, why not? Can I have a before start checklist, please?
Okay, before start checklist. Fuel
is that's checked.
And cockpit prep
is just get rid of the external power. Put on the APU bleed is complete.
Okay, EFS switches.
They're on.
Gear.
Pins and covers. There's 3 behind, there's none outside.
And signs.
They're on, auto and armed.
ADIRSs.
There's 3 in nav unchecked.
Fuel block.
Is 6 tons there, checked and balanced.
Barrow reference.
It's 3008, set once, set twice. And would you mind, Dan, just... You can't... Yeah, I can do it on your side there.
Yeah, I'm just looking how to change the...
I'll tell you, if you can't do it, put in 1019.
Is it LS?
1019 will give you the same. 1019.
1019. Okay, that's set.
Okay, so, yeah. And that's set 3 times.
Yeah, okay, below the line, mobile phone and iPad.
It's off airplane mode.
Takeoff data.
You did the performance in the box, and that's set for 133, 34, 38, and Toga. Toga.
Okay, windows and doors closed and armed, so I will close that on the cabin crew side.
Yep.
And disconnect that. And if you want to lock the cockpit doors for us, Jerry.
I will indeed. And yeah, we did get confirmation from Yvonne that the boarding's all complete. Lovely.
Okay, thanks Yvonne for confirmation. Yeah, so cabin crew boarding is now complete. All ground crew, please leave the aircraft. Thank you.
Excellent.
That's cool. That's cool. Very cool, Yvonne.
Taking no nonsense.
Oh, I know, blimey.
Get off!
I know.
Get off!
Thrust levers.
Idle.
ATC transponder
is now going to auto.
Parking brake
is set. Pressures checked.
And beacon
If you do the honours, please.
Yeah, beacon is now on. Okay, so we'll call for pushback.
Okay.
And before start, checklist complete.
Okay. San Francisco traffic, very good evening. US 290 on stand 55. We're pushing and starting for departure 01 right. Okay, so they all know we're going.
And can I confirm tail left or tail right? Sorry.
Tail to the right.
Tail to the right.
I have the plates open here first. Okay.
Okay, fantastic. And thanks Kim for the gifts again, and anybody else that's gifting over on TikTok. So I say top gifters will get a mention. Next time, next stream. And you'll see that the top gifters were last stream as well. Okay, so
the parking brakes are set.
Parking brakes set, and lifting the aircraft now, Jerry.
Super.
Standing by for pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and
My
push.
side just put the aircraft down.
Set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking
Release
brake.
parking brake, 3, 2, 1.
Released.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
It's over on YouTube there, John. Do you get you, John? KQ Hope you're doing okay this evening. First bit of Irish, I think we got through. Dan,
Oh, really? Oh,
I think it's
wow.
the first bit of Gaelic we got through.
Oh, that's cool.
Tommy is calling in from Antrim again. How you doing now? And JP, you'd be able to show us how to deal with an emergency one day. Example, an engine fire, a cabin pressure. Yeah, we were actually talking about that, Dan, weren't we? That
Yeah.
we'd like to show how to actually deal with something. The way the cockpits are set up, regards of all the systems and so on, you see everything's actually doubled. And the sense, if we can get to show you a couple of these, you will actually see the standard CAM procedure that's done to isolate a problem and continue with the rest. It's a great insight for the public to see.
Yeah, it would be really good, and like you say, I think if we can, maybe trial that offline.
Tail race,
Jerry.
Tail
Right,
race, yeah.
Just going to hit that next taxiway.
I'd say anywhere there be fine. You can turn it left then when we start.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
Just getting onto this taxiway here.
Yeah, see that there? That's exactly where you want to be going.
Okay. Well, if I don't make it as a pilot, Jerry, I'll make it as a pushback.
Please hit your parking brake.
We look. And let many of the people watching the stream be my witness. We're not going down that road.
Parking brake set. Lowering
You
aircraft.
will be flying.
Oh, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? That'd be cool.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir.
Parking brake
Clear
on,
to
yeah?
disconnect.
Yeah.
Pin has
Parking
been
brake set.
removed. See you at the side.
And you click
Okay.
start engine 2 and 1.
And
Holding position, waiting
yeah,
for the
ignition
visual.
start.
Thank you and goodbye.
So-
Engine number 2.
Checks 2.
As the pushback truck going.
He's away, is he?
He
Oh,
is
yeah,
away.
I see him there. San Francisco. It's actually a nice view of the airport on the outside there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry Cam coming this way.
Yeah, I'm just having a little look out.
Oh, cool! Look at that.
I'm just sitting at the back. Now, I do, as far as I remember, on our departure today, we're making a left-hand turn. So initially, anybody sitting on the left-hand side of the aircraft will see if we can see the San Francisco Bay. It's getting a little bit hazy out there, and then once we get into the turn about 90, maybe 180 degrees, then you'll see it on the other side of the aircraft. So hopefully, everybody gets a view of the San Francisco Bay too.
Okay. Well, we're going back off the Jerry Cam now, and just to answer Matthew Allen, who's a Patreon member, is that mod for pushback control, or is it part of fly-by-wire A320? So it is a mod. It's called, I think it's called pushback, isn't it, Jerry? We've both
It is, yeah. It's not a pushback as far as I know.
And it's available on flightsim.to.
Yes.
That's where we download it from anyway, and it's a great website. If there's any sort of add-ons that you can get for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, it's definitely the one.
And clear one.
And yeah, okay. Starting engine number 1. 3, 2, 1. And if you're wondering why we do sort of a ground control 3, 2, 1 type rocket launch every time we switch something, it's because essentially with our shared cockpit experience where we're sharing the flight controls on this flight today, we have to make sure that our hardware, our flight hardware, is in sync. So every time that I switch an engine switch on, Jerry also needs to switch it on at the same time. Otherwise, there's the potential to have like an inverted reaction. So when I turn things off, it will turn on to Jerry's side, etc.
We could end up with a situation where the aircraft is behaving on your fantastic Gatwick circuit.
So Bob has asked over on Twitter, what's the game called? So it's called Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And Matthew said, I'm heading there to download it now. Fantastic. Well, if there's any more questions, then don't forget you have direct messages activated over on Patreon, so you can contact me if there's any help that you need with that, Matthew. Well, that's the benefit of being a Patreon member. So
24/7. Dan never sleeps.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. I do, honestly.
Okay, you're good. 2 good engines.
2 engines are good then. So shall we do the flow for...
Yes, please. So you can go for the ignition.
Start. Yeah, ignition.
And let's go.
Okay, and...
APU bleed.
So, APU bleed.
You switch it off. The bleed as well.
And the bleed, sorry. Yeah.
And you don't need any engine on de-ice. I will arm the spoiler. I make sure the rudder trim is 0. And for flap, 3, 2, 1 for 1. Go. And that's that. And you have set trim. Very nice. So do you have to start checklist, please?
Okay, I have to start checklist. Anti-ice
is checked.
Engine mode selector
is normal.
Rudder trim
0.
Pitch trim.
Let me just have a little look in. It is 1 up about 24%.
Okay, and flight instruments
are checked.
And ECAM status
is checked.
Perfect. Okay, that's after start checklist complete. And,
okay. Let me just get the map books.
Yeah, sorry, just a question with the taxi. Obviously, not as familiar with the day operations as you might be, but is it compulsory in real life to have the taxi light on, regardless whether it's day or night? You know,
well, I won't say it's compulsory. It's a procedure.
Okay.
So it's also a good indication. Now, I can't say this is exactly set in stone anywhere. However, what you will see, 99.99% of pilots in an airport, is when you're taxiing along, and if somebody says, if the ATC says, give way to the next aircraft that's getting off the runway, if you stop your aircraft and switch off your taxi light, aren't you giving him a lot of confidence to say you're going nowhere?
Okay.
It's a nice procedural kind of unspoken in some books and not in others. You know what I mean? So it's one of those.
Michael J has said, "Could you please turn the AC on, please?" Well, I think actually the packs are on. Actually, I think the packs are on.
Yeah, you can turn down the temperature a little bit.
Okay, so we'll bring the temperature down to a little bit. I mean. Do you want to be really cold, Michael? I'm just wondering. I mean, we can have the power to freeze you in the back there, but
literally.
You listen. You can never keep everybody happy with aircon. I mean, we're working in offices, and I'm sure everybody else has. You know, somebody in the building will turn that up, and then everybody says, "Oh, I'm too hot," you know, they turn it down, and then everyone says, "Oh, I'm too cold now." So, and I imagine it's the same with the passengers in the back.
Okay, Dan, just to double check that you have your auto brake select to high. It has to be on high.
Okay, all right, high, and that's because of a rejected takeoff, isn't it, Jerry?
Yeah, that's right. So if you switch on on your little
I've done that.
I've
done
super,
that.
Excellent.
So
there you go.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, go on, carry on, Jerry.
No. That's it. Just me looking, making sure everything's all right. That's all.
Wing lights. Is that on which point do they go on? Taxi or before takeoff?
Before takeoff.
Before takeoff. Okay, thank you. All right, so we're ready to taxi then, Jerry. So
okay, I'll get it for you now. San Francisco traffic, good evening again, US 290. We are pushed back off stand 55. We are now going to taxi via Alpha, Golf, Bravo to Mike 1. So I'll tell you where to go. So start going straight ahead and can stay your 45. Just keep going straight ahead. I'll tell you when to go left and right.
Okay, no worries. And when you mean straight ahead, are we coming off, you mean literally stay on this line, or you mean...
Stay on the line straight... and I'll tell you exactly where to go.
All right.
Now, the line straight ahead branches off to the left.
To the left, okay. Is that what you mean? Okay.
So, yeah, go off to the left and then follow around to the right.
No worries. Parking brake off, 3, 2, 1.
Off. There we go.
And bringing in a little bit of thrust to get us going.
Super. We are good to go. So basically, we're going to have to. We'll be backtracking this back parallel, I should say, parallel on the runway down. We've got to cross the departure runway onto the takeoff runway, which is on the far side.
And just I want to mention for those that are asking questions over on the other channels, like It's Taylor, I will try to answer those once we're out of the critical stage of flight and in the cruise. So hold those questions and thoughts, and if we haven't answered them, put it again in the chats. And we'll answer them. It's just that it's a bit difficult while trying to concentrate in the taxi and obviously before takeoff. So I am trying to answer as much as we can for you. And we're at San Francisco, for those that are just joining. San Francisco, and we're on the way to Vegas. And it is very, very misty, isn't it?
There's something wrong with mine.
What's happening with yours?
I'm still on the runway. Sorry, still in their present position where...
Okay. All right. Do you want to just press... I'm going to stop now. Do you want to press the escape button and go back in like we did last time?
Yeah. Escape and resume. No. That's not after working. Let me just see, can I taxi forward? Okay, I'm wondering. No, it won't even taxi for me.
Oh no. Okay. I tell you what I'll do then, Jerry, because we're all in the same configuration, and the rule is that we need to be in the same configuration, regardless of So why don't you disconnect your controls?
Oh yeah.
And reconnect. Yeah.
Do you know what? I think that's exactly what just have to happen. I think it's shut down.
It's shut down.
It's shut down. Would you believe? Would you believe
so
it's shut
it's
down?
actually disconnected. Yeah.
Yeah. So I need that key.
Okay, and I will just give you that offline. So just give us a few moments. We will be back shortly. So you will get the outside the aircraft. We'll do that for you. Let me just get that shot there, and I'll be back shortly. Hello everybody, so we're just having a little bit of a technical issue on the ground at the moment. We're just trying to sort this out, and we'll get, obviously it's technical issue is between the connections between the first officer and the pilot monitoring and the pilot flying, should I say? That's the technical sort of terminology for it. But we will be shortly sorting this out. So okay, that's fine. So I'm just going to put you to a different view so you can see the aircraft. Look at that. How cool is that? There we go. So I'm just going to go offline for a short while. Not offline, but go quiet for a short while. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so we're back in the flight deck. So it was all Jerry's fault, of course. I mean, there's nothing to do with me.
Blame Jerry. Yeah.
Well, look, you can't blame yourself, can you? No. As I'm captain this evening, I feel like I've got the power to say it's Jerry's fault. You know, and no, I'm only joking. So yeah, we had a few technical issues with the shared cockpit side of things. So and for those that don't know how this works, it's basically not. It's not standard Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It's something that's independent, and it's been developed independently. So therefore, there are a little bit of, sort of niggles here and there. I think we've been so lucky up to now, though, haven't we, Jerry? Really,
we have. We've been doing very well. We're solving the problems as they go along, and hey, that's to be expected,
Okay, so
so you're clear to taxi on straight ahead.
All right. Well, don't jump out the cockpit again this time, yeah.
Okay, I promise not to.
Okay, are we moving, Jerry?
Yeah, we're moving.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
We are indeed.
Airbus.
Fairness, Dan, we had a few technical problems, and even with the guys watching, they've been very patient, and we get them solved, and we come back to it,
They have been very patient. Matthew, Patreon member, nothing compared to the queue of planes waiting behind them to taxi.
Hey, listen, that happens in real life as well, so don't worry.
Oh, man.
Wow. John Hamilton wants to know, did you put on the hazard lights when you went off the air there?
I should have done. If I didn't, I should have done.
And the little red triangle to go out the back,
Steve Rowe said, who's a Patreon member as well, what's the ejection seat like, Jerry? Lol.
Ejection seat?
Yeah, the ejection seat.
It's done with grabbing somebody by the tie and throwing them out the door. It works in that fashion.
Yeah, you see, Harrison, I veered off the yellow line because I was reading the comments, which obviously in the real thing wouldn't be the case. Okay, so we're going right away down to the end, Jerry.
You're not this left, but you're taking the next left.
The next left, okay.
And you're crossing the runway.
Oh, right, okay, blimey.
Yeah. So you're crossing this runway. This is 01 left. You're going straight across the 01 right.
Okay.
San Francisco traffic, US 290, crossing runway 01 left. So straight across.
Straight across. Harrison says only because I've flown as crew before. He's talking about the taxiway lines. Yeah, it's just difficult. I'm reading the comments. Yeah, so we're both pilots, but Jerry is a commercial airline pilot for the Airbus A320. I'm starting my commercial studies next month. If this medical goes through, I'm that's the only thing holding me back now.
Okay, so you can stop before you enter the other runway. We get the before takeoff checks. I'll just get the cabin just to make sure.
Okay.
So if you get a chance to one hand up there to... Oh, actually, I should be able to... What am I saying?
You should be able to press the button twice.
I should be able to...
on the call
I should be able to... Absolutely. I can find my mouse. There we go.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Here we go.
There we go. Look at that.
I just want to make sure when we get feedback off the cabin crew, make sure... I'm sure
I've noticed
it's coming somewhere.
The takeoff config is on test by the looks of it. I mean, what's that mean?
What do you mean on test?
It says takeoff config and then test afterwards.
Oh yeah, just you press the takeoff config button down on the bottom.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just press it. When you press that, you just need that. That's all.
And auto brake is also the max is turned off for us again by the looks of it.
And
on my side.
I actually disarmed that. If you disarm it on your side, actually on the thrust lever, and I'm going to do it. Okay, I think that could have been a problem.
Okay, so we'll just.
Happened.
Okay, we'll just arm it through the flight deck.
So there you go, and it's armed and it's all done.
Okay, you're not changing your throttle quadrant with that. Max
no,
brakes.
I'm not doing it
we'll
anymore because
okay,
I did it that time, and that's what probably had a bit of an issue. Anyway.
All right, so we're holding short.
Okay,
then.
so yes, before takeoff checks, please.
Before takeoff checklist, flight controls
Are checked.
Briefing and nav aids.
It's confirmed and set now for departure of runway 01 right. It is Sticky 5 departure climb initially to an altitude of 10,000 feet.
Okay, and flaps.
1 is planned, 1 is selected, and 1 plus F's indicating.
And V1, V2 flex temp.
It says V1 is 133, 134, 38 degrees. Toga set in there giving us 83.1. That's sensible.
Okay, perfect. And ATC code
Is set.
and ECAM memo.
Is takeoff, no blue.
And predictive wind shear is off.
It's coming on now. It's coming right on now.
Perfect. And below the line, EFS and iPad.
Stowed.
Cabin.
Secure. I think we got that from the cabin crew.
Okay, thanks Yvonne over in the back. And PAX and APU.
Is on and off.
And TCAS.
As TA or A.
Perfect. Okay, before takeoff, checklist complete.
Okay, and US 290 lining up and departing runway 01 right.
Okay, line up.
Okay, it's clear on the right then.
Clear on the right. They take some moving, don't they, initially?
They
Jerry?
do, yeah, but once you get them going, you actually get the thrust back off.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them moving too quick, you know?
I've noticed that.
So, Doogie Doda looks very real. They got this from PS5, and do you need friends to help? It's no, this is the PC version we're using tonight. So actually, I think we spoke about it before. The PC version gives you a lot more versatility as to what you would like to add on. Okay, Dan, so we're good to go.
John Hamilton on YouTube said, "I hope it's not too foggy to see the ocean."
Yeah, unfortunately, this area suffers a lot of fog, but fingers crossed. So keep an eye out for it straight ahead and then to the right.
Okay.
As we turn. Okay, ready?
All right, going up to 50.
Yeah.
Stabilized and toga.
There we go. Toga, so it's man toga SRS, the auto thrust is blue, thrust is set, indications are normal. $100 knots.
Check.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up. Flight director to the left, yeah. Flight turn to the left.
Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry.
apply the flight director. There we go. Alcatraz is actually out to just up there ahead. I thought San Francisco on the left-hand side. Okay, we have.
And climb thrust.
And thrust.
And autopilot engaged.
Okay, yeah, okay. There we go. What's your thrust doing? Press the red button on the side. There we go.
It's on auto throttle.
Okay. Mine's accelerating.
Oh, is it? Okay. Mine is accelerating, actually, thinking about it. Let me just...
Okay, just close. So put it into climb. And now I'm going to press auto thrust for you. Is that...
Okay, it's just about
S
to...
plus creasing, flap 0.
Flap 0. Okay, let's go into the outside shot while we can. Okay, after takeoff checklist.
Yes, please.
Landing gear.
Is up.
Flaps.
Are retracted.
Packs.
Are on.
APU.
Is off.
Barrow reference.
Is Q&H set.
Okay, perfect. After takeoff checks complete. Thanks for the gifts, everybody. San Francisco, absolutely stunning.
It is indeed.
And let's have a look at the Jerry cam, if that's alright with you, Jerry.
Yeah, absolutely. All ready to go there. I'm just looking out over Dan's window because that's the way it's tilted down. So they're the hills in San Francisco. I don't know whether we get. Just
okay.
Look up and out the window. There we go.
There we go. And they're looking for a closer look over on my side. There we go. Look at that, San Francisco. Absolutely stunning. Kim said it's a bit late for the landing gear though. So basically, it's just a clean-up check. So we'd already put the gear up. But it's a checklist just to make sure we've definitely done what we should have done after takeoff. That's right, Jerry, isn't it? Just,
that's right, absolutely. It's just we've done it all. We're just confirming we've done it. So Dan, can I just draw your attention to your PFD? I need to ask you, what does it say? Thrust climb, SRS.
Thrust climb. Okay, speed and alt star now. Just
perfect.
Activate.
That's it. That's exactly what I want to say. Look at San Fran out your window. You see the runway where we took off.
Look at that. So there's the airport where we just took off. It looks fantastic. The game 042 said, "Is it too late for me to get off? I'm not keen on flying."
Okay, we've been cleared now to climb to flight level 310.
310.
So we're passing 10,000 feet, lights in.
Okay, lights in, and seatbelt signs off.
Yeah, and all lights off. You may as well turn the runway and the nose, we don't need them. Excellent. And we are pressurizing, everything looks good. Is Oakland Airport, I think that's Oakland just straight ahead of us on the nose there because we're heading towards general easterly direction before we pick up our track. If you can actually get your head up over the nose and look down, you can see it.
Philster said, where are we flying to? We're flying to Las Vegas. So let's just get an outside shot actually while we're out here. So that's San Francisco Airport.
Yeah. Very impressive around this area for the graphics. That's all default graphics from Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, it's all default scenery as well. Like Jerry said, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
They're using the Bing maps, aren't they? There is a way that if you don't like Bing, you can actually transfer host maps into Google.
I know, I've seen that.
I mean, you've got the world covered.
But do you know, I haven't got any complaints about the Bing site, to be honest. I think it's really nice.
I totally agree.
John Hamilton, it's South San Francisco, not the downtown area. We see in the postcards. Oh, okay, yes.
Okay, nice.
I tell you what, it's really nice. Like say, it's a really nice mountainous area, isn't it? San Francisco?
Yes, it is. Basically, the direction that we're going, we're flying over Yellowstone. Not Yellowstone. I can't think of the name of the park. There's a national park there. If somebody knows it off the top of the head, just throw it into the comments there. There's a park that we're flying down. It's a national park, and you can do a lot of camping and stuff in there. You got to be careful of bears and all sorts of wildlife.
The Rocky Mountains.
I think that's an extent of the Rocky Mountains. But there is a national park that's say if you drew a line between San Francisco and directly to Las Vegas, it cuts through this national park.
Interesting.
Yeah.
ETA.
What are we looking at to see?
Yeah, what we're looking at. So how long's the flight? So 22:12. I mean, that time seems all a bit odd, to be honest. But we can work back. It's an hour flight, isn't it? It's an hour flight from roughly, isn't it, Jerry? From now.
Sorry, I just got distracted here for a second.
Oh, it's okay. Is it an hour flight, Jerry?
An hour's flight, yeah, from here now,
yeah.
Yosemite, that's it. John Hamilton, Yosemite.
Death Valley will be later. We don't want to be flying over any Death Valleys, though. I'm just worried about that, Jerry.
Actually, I think you can drive from. I did a drive many a time from Los Angeles down to San Francisco to Las Vegas. Oh, sorry, set standard there. Standard. Did that drive down. It's impressive, and I think they call that part of Death Valley.
Just look and see if I can.
The in-game 42 Jellystone Park with Yogi Bear. No, I think Jellystone is further north, or something. Yellowstone is further north. But John got it. I think John got it there. Yosemite. That's what it was.
Just trying to. They say if you're positioned in front of the engines, then you've made it as a pilot. That's the rule, isn't it, Jerry?
Say again.
If you're flying positions in front of your engines, you've made it.
You've made it, yeah. Well, I don't know about that. In the King Air now, the engines are in front of you.
That is true. That is true. I'm just there. I don't know if you can see my stream, Jerry, and I've got a nice wing view out the window. It's absolutely fantastic.
It looks fantastic. So I'll be a good co-pilot. I'll just check the systems for you. Let me have a look.
I forgot for a moment that we were actually needed to fly this thing. I was just taking in all these nice views outside, and
And that's the danger sometimes, you know. You sit there and you look, oh, this is fantastic, you know.
Oh wow!
Next of all, the thing is going.
I don't like all these oranges that keep flicking up as you flick the screen.
Yeah. No. Basically, when you flick the screen, so let me just show you here. A general rule of thumb: if you have everything there that is in the green and there's no orange as such when it settles down. For instance, Dan, could you just reach up there and just put it onto my cam for a second?
Yeah, I'll put it onto Jerry cam coming up.
Right, and I'm just going to look in at the bleed system here, right? Now this is a very simple one that it's very easy recoverable. Again, you would never do this on real life, and we can just show it for the demo. I don't know whether it's going to happen, but Dan, can you switch off pack one?
Yeah, and before I do, Yvonne Island has said, hi guys, just checking you're okay and don't need anything before we start our service out here.
I'm alright for the moment. I'm just too excited for the gambling later on.
Las Vegas would be a great stopover for the crew, wouldn't it?
That'd be great. Yeah. Do you know what? Everywhere is good. They all have the great places.
Okay, so what do you want me to set? Sorry, Joe.
Actually, do you know what? I just remembered from the stream the other night. It's not going to work. But if you were to switch off the pack one, I'll switch off pack one. If you could show it on the stream. Pack one. Where you got? There it is. Okay. Can you see down on your part now? If you pull up the conditioning page, the bleed page. Let me put it up for you there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on your side now, is it?
Yeah, it's on my side as well. Yeah.
Okay, so
I can turn the. It's back to my cam now. Joe.
Okay, can you see the way it does a? Okay, it should be orange at the moment.
It should be orange. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you can see the way the system's not working. That system is not working there. Now, the reason I said switch the pack off is that on a real aircraft, if you switched off one pack failed, the other one will be perfectly able to cater for that.
Gotcha.
So just belts and braces. We put that one back on, please.
Okay. So putting that pack back on. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. So we're all good. Back in normal configuration.
Back into Jerry cam mode. So Jerry's having a look around the cockpit by the looks of it.
I am. I'm just so impressed with the scenery around here.
Steve Rose said, I think you may want to wait. Steve Rose is a Patreon member. We may be going down. No, we don't have to talk like that, Steve, when we're flying, that's for sure.
Never.
Thanks for the follows and thanks for the shares. And for those that have, are enjoying the stream over on YouTube as well, and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, hit that subscribe button. And if you are a public subscriber, by the way, you get a notification and it pops up to say that you've subscribed on all the streams that are happening just right now. Steve Rose said strap in all. Oh no, Steve, we can't do that.
You've flown us many times. You have to have confidence.
We doesn't matter what's happening. We always get there. Okay, so I'll say that now. Okay, all right. Well, just have a look around the cockpit myself and just seeing everything's in order. One thing that we can check is to see how our fuel burn is doing. Is that right, Jerry?
Yeah, we can do actually. All right.
Yeah, so we'll go over to the iPad and we'll look at the flight plan.
So by the point of Carop, we should bear in mind we took 500 kilos extra, Dan. That's not on that flight plan. So whatever figure you should have by the point of Charlie Alpha Bravo.
Yeah,
we should have more. So what does that say you should have?
So it says that we should have 3 tons. Now so it'd be 3.5 tons is the minimum fuel required.
We'll get there in a few minutes' time. We'll have approximately 1 ton extra. Excellent.
Perfect. So we're all good. And what would the procedure be if, let's say, you were burning more fuel than what you expected, but
very
you still,
good.
What would the procedure be? Because let's say your fuel burn is greater than expected, and that could be down to maybe air density. Is that right? Maybe, or something
it could
like,
be. The biggest culprit there could be if you had the wrong forecast winds, which is a very rare occasion because your flight planning in all airlines would have excellent information coming through to put into your flight plan. Yeah. So they normally get it very accurate. However, if you came across a situation where you're actually burning more fuel than planned, there's many things you got to look at. In other words, how much am I going? If I burn at this rate, how much am I going to have when I get there? First of all, will I be happy with that amount? Is it enough? So the bottom line is your go-to line is, if I don't have enough, divert and pick up some, and off you go.
Okay, but
not an issue. Not an issue.
But it's not an issue. So you wouldn't really be alarmed if you started burning more fuel, as long as you got enough to cater for that fuel burn.
Well, you'd be curious about it if it was more fuel. I mean, it was significantly more fuel than expected. You might want to start looking into procedures of fuel leaks, because you shouldn't be burning that if the winds are forecasted correct, if everything is right. You just got to look at a lot of things.
And is there any sort of system will the Airbus pick up fuel leaks in some way, like unusual dumps of fuel? Like, is there a limit of what the Airbus will accept in terms of the normal range of fuel fuel sort of usage? So if the let's say, I know, suddenly we drop from 4 to 3, in the space of a minute or something like that.
Okay.
Would the Airbus be intelligent enough to know, well, hold on a minute, there's something up here, there must be a leak? Is there anything like that in the system?
Well, there's an excellent chance that if you have that kind of wastage in the space of a minute or two, first of all, the Airbus would never burn that like that. It'd take a half an hour for 2 engines to burn that fuel, okay? And if it went down that quickly, you've got bigger problems on your hands.
You are right, because if it went that quickly within a minute, then it's going to burn through the 4.5 tons that we've got on board
in about 3-4 minutes.
3-4 minutes.
So that's not burning, that's leaking. That's a catastrophic leak.
Yeah.
But let's say you were going on a trip of 4 hours. After the first hour, you realise, I burned 500 more. And then on the next hour, I burned an extra 500 more. So now you got to find out what's happening here. I probably won't have enough to go to my destination. If it's nice there, can I commit my alternate fuel? So there's many rabbit holes that you can go down, and that's what you're paid to do. You're paid to think this out, but you have to always and never compromise safety.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Glenn Scott has said, where are you flying to? So we're flying to Vegas from San Francisco. We are obviously in a virtual setting, so it's Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 for those that are wondering. And I just want to say thanks to the Blind Skull, who's just subscribed over on the YouTube channel, and it's a public subscriber. He pops up, you'd have seen him pop up with the animation over on the stream, which is pretty cool as well. Kim has said, when's the snacks and drinks coming? I'm Hank Marvin. I think the flight service is about to commence, I'm pretty sure.
I'd say so.
It's about the right time. And just while we're on that note, so the meals are served, Jerry, in the back for the flight service. When do the flight crew get their meals? Do they get it at the same time, or do they wait till they serve all the passengers, or do you get it first and then the passengers? I mean,
it's basically just when the combination of maybe we'd fancy it now or maybe later on, and you also have to take into consideration how busy are the cabin crew. I mean, if you want like something to eat the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but they're going out to start the service now, get it now, or you're waiting 40 minutes because they're too busy. They're far. You've got to remember what they do down the back is an extremely hard job. And I'll just give 30 seconds on this, okay? Thank God, most of the people around the world, 99.99%, only see 5% what they're trained for. They are trained firefighters, they're trained paramedics, they're trained, they can actually deal with chemical spillages, and I get the pleasure once a year going into their simulator and watching them. It's amazing. They don't come into ours, but we actually go in and sit in a big tube, and it's their simulator, and it's made like a 320, wow. We get to see them practice their emergency procedures, and you see such nice people all the time turning into absolute pros at firefighting and dealing with people. It's incredible, and it's a pleasure to watch. They're very good at what they do.
I mean, for me, even not being in the commercial industry yet, I mean, every flight, I am in awe of the cabin crew, how they operate, how they deal with problems as well. If there's people causing problems. I mean, you literally, in some cases, you have to be a doorman, and be able to, almost, be very diplomatic in trying to control the situation, because a situation can go, from 0 to 100 pretty quickly if you say the wrong thing, with people.
Sorry, Dan. Well, you said that there. Some of the jobs I never mentioned what they do as well. Some of them have been midwives.
Oh wow.
Exactly. And some of them have acted as police guards, where they had to probably cuff a passenger. There's procedures to do that. And they've also probably the most unspoken job that they have. They're counsellors in a way. They listen to people, and everybody has their own individual needs, and sometimes they're nervous about flying. They're the people to talk to. They're really good at what they do.
And it's It's not an easy job, is it? Let's take it outside the aircraft. You know, when you're not, you know, all in a small confined space, and we think about, you know, maybe some interactions that we've all had in shopping centres with other people that are a bit unruly, in pubs, you know, if you're out on a night out, and you've got to then sort of imagine that situation in a small confined space where, you know, even the slightest argument or the slightest raised voice becomes a big problem, you know.
But they are superb at calming that situation. I mean, I'm blessed that I see many of the crew that work with me on a day-to-day basis. When you have a crew member bringing in solutions and things that were done and little problems that solve before they even bring in the problem, you know, they're working really hard out there. They're solving problems, they're dealing with passengers, they're serving, they can be paramedics, they can be midwives. We only get to see 5%, and the 5% is, say, the tea and coffee service and maybe the meal service. That's all we get to see. But always remember, that's not what they're there for.
Well, they're not, you know, and I think majority of people certainly appreciate them. You know, it's a minority, like society. There's always a minority that ruin it for everybody. You know,
completely. Tip my hat to them. I dedicate the stream to them. It's an honour of them.
Yeah,
they're very good.
Definitely, and it would be it'd really be cool one night if we had you know, on maybe a shorter flight, so it doesn't sort of take up too much of their time. You know, it'd be really good to have like a virtual cabin crew over, you know, vocally that we could sort of connect with, you know, on occasion.
Why don't we put that on our list and let's look into it?
Yeah, we'll put on that. I mean, we're trying to make this stream better and better each time. You know, and you know, for those that have been at the start of this stream, from the start of the stream, you'd have noticed that we've now brought in for the day flights a walk around on the aircraft, and you know, we might not do it every time, but we're trying to think of things to keep it a little bit interesting each. You know, each time we're just trying to keep it really interesting, you know. So,
do you know what might be interesting some night? How about we do a bit of base training then?
Oh, base training.
Oh, and that'd be great. Cool. Do you want to explain to everybody what base training is?
Yeah, so, well, I hope I can.
You have it. Yeah.
Okay, so with commercial training, there's a lot of things that you need to obviously get done before you go to base training. Just want to say, Paul, thanks for the gifts, by the way, and anybody else that's sending the gifts on TikTok and tapping that screen and sharing it does help. But you're going back to the training. So you, for a commercial pilot, you have to get your private pilot's license. You have to get your night rating. You then have to pass your ATPL exams, which could take you sort of anywhere between 6 months to a year, or 18 months potentially if you really need that time. Then you then go on to your multi-engine and instrument rating. You then go on to your multi-crew and jet orientation course. And then after that, you are ready to then, and part of that before you go on to get your commercial license, because you need to do your CPL. But before you get your CPL, you need to have enough hours, and you need at least 200 hours before you can take your commercial test. But you can actually start your training before that, as long as you meet the 200 hours at that point. And I think you can start your training once you have 100 pilots in command hours and 50 I think 50 shared, I think, or something like that. There's a certain kind of criteria. But going on to the base training, so once you apply for an airline, they will then, you know, work out what type of aircraft you're going to fly, whether it's the Airbus A320, the A380, for instance, 737, 747, and they will then commence you to base training, which will before base training you will go in the sim, won't you, to get your type rating? Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
So you get your type rating on the type that you're going to be flying. So that's obviously the Airbus A320, for instance. And then once you've successfully got your type rating in the sim, you will then be sent to base training, where you'll be asked to complete Now, I want to say, is it 3 landings? 3 landings there, or is it more than that? Is it 4 landings?
6. Yeah,
I was nowhere near. 3 and double it. There we go. 3 and double it, 6. So 6 landings you'll be asked to complete in base training, where you get in the real aircraft and you take off like you would in a Cessna or a PA-28, and you go and complete a circuit, VFR, and you go up, round and down and back again, and you got to complete that as part of before they let you in the real thing and go to your next stage where you're flying passengers with a training captain in the back. Or is there always 3 crews involved in the sort of that scenario? Is there always a training captain, a captain, and a first officer, Jerry, when you get to fly the?
Well, you're talking about base training now, or you're just talking?
Sorry, I'm talking when you move over from base training, you go over to obviously your first commercial flight, with passengers. Would there be a captain and a training captain, or would you be okay to just have a training captain?
Okay, so what happens is you have a training captain, you have you as a very first day on the line, we'd say, right? And you'll be in the right seat, and you'll have a safety co-pilot in the jump seat. And basically the safety co-pilot is, in his mind, he's watching every single thing that should be done at the correct moment of time, and he will bring it to the training captain's attention if something is missed. So it's just extra belts and braces as that progresses. And normally a lot of people will see this around 15 to 20 sectors, the first 15 to 20 flights. The training captain will actually assess the ability of the guy in the right seat, because he's only brand new, and he will talk through, like, what would you do now if I died? And he'll walk through scenarios like that, and what about this and what about that, and get an overall understanding of him. And then the training captain will release the co-pilot from sitting in the seat, and he can continue to train him with just 2 of them, because he'll be confident if that happened to him, the guy can now land the aircraft.
Fantastic. I mean, it must be a really memorable experience when that happens. And
it is. It is.
Probably up there with your first solo.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
etc.
Yeah.
So Trucker Lee on TikTok has said, I have my PPL based at Teesside. Oh, fantastic, Trucker. Well, welcome to the stream. Just to let everybody know that's just joining. So I'm a private pilot in real life. Jerry, who's acting as pilot monitoring tonight, is a real Airbus A320 pilot. We've just basically been doing these shared cockpit streams where we're flying A to B flights, answering questions and having a good natter, really, aren't we? And it's been really nice.
See the view out on the right hand, just in front of the right hand side there.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to the Jerry cam. Just so
okay,
look
sure,
at that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stretch my neck, Jerry, to go over to the right side,
Yeah, well, I heard somebody saying you had some neck anyway. Boom, boom! You walked into it. You just walked into
sorry.
Look at that.
Look at that view. In the Jerry cam as well. So Jerry's sat in the right hand side seats, and what a view. We got like 13 people over on YouTube watching as well.
Hey,
60 people watching on TikTok. And there's a couple of people watching on Twitch as well, so it's fantastic.
Excellent. And if Pilot Giza's in tonight, you should be able to recognize these mountains here. So let us know if you've flown over them. Give us a shout on the TikTok chat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kim's Southern Dog Training says, "Let me hear you say wayo wayo." I'll let Jerry do that.
Wayo wayo.
Wayo.
Wayo wayo. Nah, you're asking the wrong guy there, Kim.
Oh,
you're asking the wrong.
I think if we hit like, I know, something like 50 Patreon members or something like that, then I think we're gonna have to do a duet together, a bit of a sing-song,
Sing-song, yeah. Well, we'll leave the vocals to you.
But the good thing is, Jerry, I'm only at 8 Patreon members, 8 Patreon members, so don't worry. I think we're a long way off that duet.
I'll get practicing.
We're a long way off this duet. Flat Horizon, somebody has said. Well, it seems flat from here anyway, but I don't know.
So Dan, just to give you a quick update, I just looked at the weather, and it is a bit breezy for you tonight. Let me have a quick. I'll just pull it back up on the thing. I couldn't print it out there. just call it up. So I did get the ATIS, and it's looking like it's coming from the north there in Las Vegas. 36020 gusting 28. 10 statute miles, 15 degrees. Not too warm down there for this time of the year in fairness. And QNH 3006. If you want to put that already up on the standby, would be great. 3006.
3006. Oops, there we go. 3006. And I'm just wondering, I mean, there's got to be a way of changing this. No. Okay, so if I just, I can't change it. So, well, I can't put it on standby because it's in the QNH mode. So I can't obviously take standard out because it'll mess with our.
It doesn't matter. It's only standby. Anyway.
It's a shame because actually a question for you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we're in the real aircraft, I could then use the secondary barrow. Essentially, would I be able to use that and change that independently to find out what the QNH is? Let's say if we have a problem or not.
Well, it wouldn't be a good procedure because
it won't be good.
Yeah, because you got to remember, we have tonight AP1 engaged. Okay, AP1 is following everything on your side. So if you actually you went from standard to a QNH, and let's say it was a few millibars different. Obviously, you're not going to be exactly at 31,000 feet anymore. You'll be at 30,000, say 600. The autopilot will now climb it to back to 31,000 feet on the QNH.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
you can actually sample it there if you want to just pull and see what happens. Actually, no, this doesn't work. This doesn't work on this one.
Okay, well let's anyway. Let's not cause too many problems, Jerry. You know, this seems to be going quite smooth at the moment, and I just sort of I just worry that if we start messing too much with this, then it's going to go wrong. And just while people are getting warmed to the idea of 50 Patreon members mean that me and Jerry's going to do some sort of duet on a live stream one day. Then I will mention the Patreon members. So Patreon. A way to join Patreon is by going to patreon.com/flyuk, and there are different memberships, and they are all limited with the different classes. So obviously, ignore this sort of 50 remaining, the 12 remaining. They are actually already being taken up now, and I'm going to go through. Those Patreon members now. So going over to the Patreon, who's on board. So in economy, we've got empty economy seats today. But over in business class, we have Living Issue UK, the aviation guy, Matthew Allen, Niall Conway, Steve Rowe. So they're the business class Patreon members. And in first class, Christian's no longer on his own. We've got Christian, Craig Salter, and John Restle. So they're all the first class members on board, and again, you can join. You can essentially join Patreon by following that link, patreon.com/flyuk. And so there we go. That's the target to aim for, 50, and we'll have a duet over on here. Hey, that's cool.
Okay, so I promise I'll do it. Now, as bad as I am, I'll put myself out there. Okay.
And do you know what? I reckon you've got some sort of. What's the Irish bands over there? Take That, I don't know. Take That voice. No, you got a voice like Take That, Jerry?
No. I'm too old for that.
All right then, I'm just checking.
Don't even look half.
Or is it the Dubliners? Or is that you?
No, I'd be more like Ronnie Drew. So if you don't know who Ronnie Drew is, go and Google Ronnie Drew. I feel like him. God rest his soul. Passed away.
So UK pilot, if the aircraft is in alt cruise, it won't chase an altitude off a barrow change momentarily.
I understand what he's saying there. It's basically if you change to the barrow reference, let's say you put something drastic different, technically the aircraft should go to that altitude, right? But I do notice as well in this mod, I've checked that out in the mod, and it did actually stayed at 200 feet. You'd say, if you look at the modes that we're in there, we're in Mac, Alt, and Nav. Now the reason we're in Alt, if you go down to the box, Stan, and you call up the progress page, and it's looking to get up to what have we got in there? I think it might be even 37.
So it's 290 at the moment, isn't it? 0.78.
No, if you go down to the box, the computer there, and,
the computer box,
and press the progress page, PROG. See the way it says 390. So type in 310 and override 390, and then what's your FMA? Sorry, excuse me.
Will it accept without the?
It should, yeah. Just put it on. Just press it on the top.
There we go. Yeah.
Now look at your mode on that. It's changed from alt to alt cruise. So the aircraft will allow a soft deviation from the altitude that you're at there at this moment in time.
Okay.
And it's just one of those. It's more. Let's just say it's more comfortable on the autopilot than cruise. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. And how do we get that back to what that default was?
That's where it really should be if you're in the cruise, is alt cruise.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just never. We were more interested in talking to the fans.
Fantastic. I mean, the views.
James is in.
Sorry. James is in. Yeah, James is in. Sorry.
He says I'm a Westlife guy, kind of guy he knows. Go away.
Do you know what? James? I think you said that Mikey and Jerry have a very similar accent, so they must have lived fairly close to each other. Do you know where Mikey is from, Jerry? At all?
I don't, I'm afraid. I don't even know the band. So
no, sorry, not the West. No, not, I don't. Sorry, I'm not calling Westlife names out there. I ain't got a clue. But I'm talking about the Flying Irishman over on TikTok.
Oh, sorry. No, I actually don't. I haven't even seen the stream. I must tune in and have a little look.
We've upset Kim now. There's nothing wrong with Westlife, Kim says. So we've upset Kim now.
I'm staying neutral.
And actually, while we're on the Kim subject, let's have a look at the top gifters. So the top gifters were Honey J 30 on the last stream, and funny enough, it was Kim 499 diamonds. That's pretty cool. Margaret on third place there. So the top gifters of this stream will be highlighted on the next live stream as well. It's so cool to be able to do that, and it's just a bit of a thank you to the TikTok side as well. So thanks so much.
Do you know what? Just while I'm here, hijacking it for five seconds. Kim and Yvonne should actually chat. Kim can help Yvonne with something, and that's all I'm saying, girls. Get together, DM each other, and I'll interject and let you know what later on. Sorry about that.
All right, that's intrigued me now, Jerry. Let's look
at Kim's handle there. Kim's handle is South Dog Training. Okay, Southern Dog Training.
Ah, okay.
Get in contact with people.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Get in contact with people.
So get in touch with everyone. And just one thing that I want to say is that Jerry, who's flying with me today, and we'll put the Jerry cam on there while we're look at that sort of right hand. Look, Jerry, you need to be quicker than that. Look. You know?
Yeah. Okay, you're clear to descend flight level 100.
Okay, sorry, we're 100.
Flight level 100. And enter destination data. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Craig Salter said, hi Dan and Jerry, did you do the research I told you about last stream? So he was talking about the 30%.
That's right. I didn't actually get a chance.
We didn't get a chance. I mean, I've been out the house all day. To be fair, first time actually been in the office today. Officially in 2 years. I have been down to London, but not in my normal sort of office. Anyway, but yeah, Craig's a Patreon member, as you've probably seen when we mentioned the patrons.
Yeah.
We will check that out probably when we get a chance the weekend maybe, and just have a play around with those settings. Obviously, we were a bit nervous about sort of messing around too much with the settings on our streams. So Paul Douglas said, want to get a round the world ticket, what's the best way to do it? So I'm guessing he means real world. If it's a virtual one, I mean, it's a lifetime Patreon member. I don't know if we can set that up anyway. No, I'm only joking, Paul. Do you know the best way of these? Do you know the best way of these sort of doing that around the world tickets?
No, I actually don't. But I would say if you have a round the world ticket, something strikes me that many moons ago I read something about you can keep going, say, east. You can't. You can parallel it, but you cannot go back, if you know what I mean. So wherever way you work out your trip, one of those round of the world trips, so let's say you start with Dublin, you went to Heathrow, and then you went to Amsterdam, you cannot go back to France, because you're actually going backwards across a parallel of longitude, if you know what I mean. You must keep at least going east or parallel at north or south, but you can't go backwards. I think that's the way it was.
Okay, that makes sense. Gringo Man says, hi. Yeah, sorry I've missed the recent lives. No problem. I do remember you coming in on a previous live as well. But thanks for joining back. It does mean a great deal when we get the regulars in. We call them the regulars. Yeah. And I'm not going to go over and mention everybody's name because you know who you are. So, plus I don't want to upset anybody by missing anybody off, because it's been absolutely fantastic with seeing the regulars come in and out of the streams. Yeah. It's Taylor has said, my auntie was a flight attendant for BA, EasyJet and Thomas Cook, and managed to get to cabin manager for EasyJet. Oh wow!
Oh, very good.
That's dedication, I'd imagine. I mean, it's not easy, is it, to get to those positions?
No, it's not. But it's earned. It's earned very well. It's earned hard.
A lot more responsibility, I'd imagine, as well.
Well, you're basically managing what you have generally on, say, an Airbus 320, 321. You have 320, we say. You have a senior, and then you have 3 cabin crew. And let's say you go to a 330. Now you will have a cabin manager who's managing 3 seniors, we'd say, in 3 different galleys, and each of those seniors may have 2 to 3 cabin crew that they're managing. So it's a management job as such, but they do again get stuck into the service, and they get stuck into looking after the passengers, customers, and especially, giving them that one-to-one kind of face. It's very, very pleasant the way they work.
That makes sense. Well, we're just descending now. I'm just going to flick to the outside view. We haven't seen the outside, much of the outside view while we've been in cruise, so let's go and have a look at that. Absolutely fantastic. And you'll have to excuse the Christmas sort of fly-by. I don't know why that's even crept in, to be honest.
Have you not put that back into the paint shop yet? No.
I think I need to. I mean, it absolutely looks fantastic flying over these mountain ranges. And did we actually find out what part? Well, this is probably
Yosemite Park. That's what it was.
Yeah. Is that where they have the faces of the presidents and stuff? Is that
my geography's not great over there. You need to. Somebody else may be able to give us that information. Throw in on the comments.
Can I just sort of draw your attention to this? Look at this. So the engines are obviously running. We're on the outside view, and thankfully, but you'll see if you look carefully the distortion from those engines. And what's really impressive with the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 have done is if I slowly move around, you'll see I won't be able to see much at all soon. Watch this. If I get direct, look at that, direct in the blast, you've got that effect. That's coming straight. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely, the attention to detail is incredible. Looking under the aircraft now, look at that. Incredible. It's just it just shows you the level of detail. So there we go. So Gringo Man has said, do you remember Microsoft Flight Simulator? Do you recommend Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator 20 instead of X-Plane? Now, Jerry has said on previous streams he's more familiar with X-Plane, but generally, as I know myself, just being in the simulator game for a while now, X-Plane's renowned for its flight sim realism in terms of flight dynamics, but Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, let's be honest, has blown a lot of the simulators out of the water in terms of the graphics side, and I want to stress it's the graphics side only, mainly. They've got a lot of work to get done with the flight characteristics, but the add-on aircraft has improved things quite a bit with those flight characteristics. Do you agree, Jerry?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, I totally agree.
So I think it's I think it depends on what you're after. I would like to see X-Plane with their latest edition basically increase the graphics, which I think they're going to do. If they do, then Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 will have to up their game with the flight characteristics, which is really healthy to have competition from both simulators and other simulators. Like P3D was based off Microsoft Flight Simulator X, and it obviously improved quite a bit since then. But the base model is off Microsoft Flight Simulator X, I believe. So there we go. Both fors and against, but yeah, I just suggest downloading both. Jerry has both installed, don't you, Jerry?
I do, and I will say though, due to the streams and obviously coming and seeing all these nice people every evening, I use the Microsoft Flight Simulator a little bit more. Today I did fire it up for the first time in about a week or two, and I was just trying a few little things with regards of failures and procedures of the way the eCam handles them, and it is very good.
So we've obviously started our descent now.
Sorry, Dan, and just in relation to that, I set QNH 3006. Okay, it's set.
3006. Set once, set twice, and
yeah, that's about right there.
Set 3 times. Yeah. Fantastic, Joey.
I also believe if you press B, actually there, I'm at the pressing B. What did the QNH change to on your side? Or did it change?
Sorry, you pressed, sorry, what?
The letter B on your keyboard.
On the keyboard.
So I tell you what, I just want to set the QNH a little bit off. So there, press B on your keyboard.
Okay,
there you go.
3010.
So it sets to the local pressure, and it also sets standby there as well. That's very good.
Perfect.
Excellent.
There we go. And I think I just admit to that. I pressed G because I didn't fully look at where the keyboard was, and
did you now?
Yeah, I quickly pressed that off. There we go.
Well, actually, it won't go down on the Airbus. There's a shut-off valve. When you go up,
oh really?
So above 250 knots, there's a shut-off valve that won't allow it. As soon as you come down below 250 knots, now it will allow you to do that.
Okay, I'm just intrigued, just for our own. I'm just intrigued to see whether that's actually simulated. So I'm going to. I'm not going to. Do you want to do gear down on the hardware? So 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay, you did come down.
And it sounds like it's coming down. Okay, it is. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. Gear up.
There we go. Gears up.
Okay. So Jerry, do you want to feed? That's probably a really key thing to feed back to the team, actually, because that's something that's, like, say, not many people would probably pick up on if they don't fly the Airbus for real.
Yeah, that's true. I'll feed that back into the Discord channel.
Well, I'm glad we mentioned that. I mean, it's crazy. Patrick 2.10 says looks so realistic. It really does. I mean, there's even lighting effects. Look at this PFD knob that I'm just going into. See the light sort of reflecting and shimmering off that knob. I mean, it's that level of detail that, and even the shimmering underneath. Look at that. Just the light refraction off that. It's crazy. They've really gone into some detail here.
We're on the Jerry cam, are we?
Oh my word, okay. That would not make a lot of sense to anybody. Let me try that again. So just zooming into the PFD knob here, and you see how the light's shimmering off that knob, and underneath you see it shimmering off the plastic side there. So it's absolutely incredible, the level of detail that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 have gone to get these effects in. And I've just noticed actually on the PFD, we've got an old sort of square that's appeared, and it's gone to alt with the green again. Is that correct, Jerry? Just checking.
So speed and alt, it's at 10,000 feet. Now I'm just looking. We may have descended a little bit too much.
I'm just looking ahead. Jerry,
it's very simple.
I don't know whether you're on some sort of suicide mission here, but
No, it's very simple because you'd probably start getting vectors around this stage. So we take up a heading of 140.
Heading of
140.
140.
And we might be going the wrong way around the valley, but hey, look, we'll see.
We'll take it. We'll go the scenic route. So look at
we aim to please.
Look at that view. Fantastic. Hopefully PMDG gets some out for Microsoft Flight Sim MSFS2020. I agree. Cabin manager is about to come round with a scratch cards freighter, is said. Oh dear. Craig Salter said, I've been using Google Maps mod rather than the Bing Maps. And Matthew Allen and Craig Salter are both Patreon members. They're on a bit of a discussion there because, like Jerry mentioned, and if you've been in the stream for the whole of the stream, Jerry mentioned earlier that you can actually change over the Bing Maps to Google Maps for the scenery, so the rendering of the realistic scenery. So they're having a discussion, Craig and Matthew, over on the other channel, saying any obvious issues. So I'm intrigued actually, Craig. Have you had any issues with that, and have you found it better in some ways, or is it because obviously it's a Microsoft product, going over to Google Maps instead of Bing might cause a few issues traditionally if you try and mod things. I'm staying well clear of changing over to Google Maps at the moment, to be honest. I think I actually really like the way Bing have generated. It seems to work flawlessly, but I'll be intrigued to, I'm open-minded with that, of course.
We have to be careful as well, Dan, in case we mess something. We got to try and change as little as possible to keep these things flowing very nicely between each other,
Definitely.
So interesting.
Johnny said, hey Dan, I'm back. Hi Johnny, welcome back to the stream. And Kim said, Dan, can you ask Jerry what he said earlier about myself and Jenny, please? Oh, okay. I think it's he was talking about was it Jenny or Yvonne? Was it
Yvonne?
Yvonne. So it was Yvonne Island. Yvonne Island. So Yvonne Island has said, second check guys, no response to my last check. So okay, let me just check if I missed something. Oh my word, I feel like I'm under pressure now.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't miss Anne. We're all good. She just rang in there to ask where we are right before landing.
We're all good. Thank you, Yvonne. Appreciate that. Kim, get in touch with Yvonne Island. So Yvonne has just commented.
You might have some good information for her.
You might
get in touch.
To help out. Might be able to help out there.
Don't worry, I'll DM you Kim later on if you haven't got in touch with her. Don't worry. Now, Dan, I'm just looking at. Did we go the right way around these mountains?
I think we'll be all right. No, we'll be fine.
I think we'll find the gap.
We'll take the tail end. Let's go and have a look outside actually while we're here.
Okay, Do you know what we should do some night? We're over this direction again and we're actually flying around here. Why don't we plot a route over Area 51?
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And we'll get a little look down on the base. Okay, the only time we'll ever be able to do it.
Okay then, Area 51. So I'm just wondering, is it actually even coming up as an airport on the maps?
No, but I can get the coordinates and I can make a point in the box.
Okay,
and then we'll fly to that point. It's actually not too far from here. It's about 15 minutes flight time away from here.
Okay, well we're going to check out the alien craft at Area 51 then, I think. No, I haven't, Reese. I haven't tried Infinite Flights on iOS. Steve Rowe, a Patreon member as well. Jerry, let's go there. So you can thank Jerry for that. He wants to check out, see whether aliens exist or not.
Aliens.
Yeah.
We could do a touch and go sometime. Do you know what? Next time we're over here,
at Area 51. Let's go and do it.
This is the thing. The next time that we're over there, we could do a touch and go at Area 51.
Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it? That would be
wouldn't
cool.
It just? And you, this is the service that we bring everybody. You just will not get the service anywhere.
Oh dear.
Okay, let's have a little look where we are here now. Okay, descend to altitude 6,000 feet.
6,000 feet.
Actually, make that 7,000. Make it 7,000.
Correction, 7,000.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the Jerry cam. I know he probably won't be moving around too much, but there we go. He's got the maps out.
I better sit up forward. I better sit up forward. I better sit up forward.
We've caught him napping on the job, or putting the camera down somewhere. Look at, there we go. He's
there we go. I'm back up again now.
He was asleep, I think. Jerry was asleep. Thanks, Kim, for the gifts. And just while we're on the gift side, look at this. This was the top gifters. Kim is well on the way to be a top gifter on this stream. So guess she'll be getting a mention in the next stream as the way it goes. But thanks for the gifts over on TikTok. Thank you very much. And Jerry Cam is activated, so he's looking over. And so have you found the coordinates for Area 51 yet, Jerry?
Oh, sorry, I didn't put it in. Because we'd have to go back up north to actually.
Okay.
I thought you were going to do it on the next stream that we're over this direction.
We'll do it on the next stream then, everybody. We're not the next stream directly, but next time we're over this way because we're planning in a little bit more. What the problem is that we've passed it. We've passed Area 51 already.
We never thought about it.
So I think we'll have to be guessing whether aliens exist or not.
But we'll certainly jot it in. Steve really wants it. Steve Rowe really wants it, so we got to do it. And there's another very interesting question. Won't that area of the map be retracted off it? That's interesting. There's only one way to find out.
Sorry, I missed that. I was reading comments, Jerry.
Yeah, it was a good point from Matt. He says, won't the area of the map be redacted? In other words, will they not have it on it? That's a good point. We don't know. Let's see. No, we're going to be. Are we flying to Area 51? No, not on this stream. As Dan says, on the next time we're taking a flight over this direction, we'll certainly put it into the flight plan and go over it, and maybe even a touch and go if it's possible. But if it's still on the map, we'll do it. That's for sure. And do you know what other airport is over here? Fly-by Wire's home base. I think it's over this direction. With the people whose aircraft were actually flying, who developed it, they have a new base that they've put up, and you can actually download the airport, put it in, and visit. Yeah,
and I've heard that as well. And someone's asked for a passenger view, so I'm going to see if I can get those quick views. Let me just have a look. No. I don't think we've got any. I'm just going to see if. No, I'm going to see if I can get a passenger view. 2 seconds.
Do you know?
There we go, passenger view. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to just take Jerry's cam off and I'll get a passenger view now.
Sure.
Oh wow, look at the views out the window.
I'm just going to turn us by 10 degrees to the left, okay?
Okay, thanks Jerry. I know Steve Rowe, thanks for picking up on that. I forgot the Jerry cam was on. Just I was there trying to get the view for you, but absolutely crazy.
Do you know what we should see? Can we do, Dan? Can we give the viewers the option to switch to Dan cam, Jerry cam, rather than us putting Dan cam, Jerry cam?
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
I think it can be done. So we'll put that again on the list for development.
Yeah, we'll try and do that. Yeah, we'll try and think of a clever way of doing that. So we're back to Jerry cam now while I switch views. So I'll just go back to the cockpits and I'll back in the room. There we go. Back on the Dan cam.
Dan cam.
The Dan cam and the Jerry cam. I mean, the Jerry cam sounds much better because it sounds like a Jerry cam, doesn't it? You know. So yeah. Holy moly, these graphics are just way too good to be true. They're crazy, aren't they? I mean, these. You know, the outside views are crazy as well. We've got, you know, it's absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. We've obviously, you know, that way you can go over to go over to the plane, the passenger view, and view that the plane. You know, the wing view is cool as well. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, that's what we're all used to seeing when we go on holiday and everything. It's absolutely mad, and I don't know, we were at some sort of local airfield here.
There's one down there.
I don't even know where we are.
I tell you where we are. We're just down to the south, and we're going to be taking a turn now shortly. If you want to bring around to a heading of 110.
Okay, so
start thinking about at least slowing it down to 20 knots.
Okay, 110.
Yeah.
And 220 knots.
Now we keep an eye out, make sure we don't.
Just looking at those.
Yeah, we bring our heading on to 085.
085.
That's better now. Now, Dan, what you can do is go to direct Codono.
Okay. Direct to Codono.
Now we're just be coming over the ridge of the mountains, so.
And we got a minimum safe altitude here, Joey. Do you know?
Yeah, well, that's all very well and good when you're IF4.
Okay.
Sorry, when you're in IMC conditions. However, look, if you need to disconnect, just ascend a little bit. You can do that. So, again, this is all simulation. We're making some of this up as we go along.
Yeah,
well.
that's sure. Yeah.
So basically,
it's for entertainment purposes only. Don't try this at home. Don't try this at home. That's the UB framed catchphrase, isn't it? I mean, did you have that in Ireland? UB framed.
We did actually, yeah. Jeremy Beadle and all the gang, yeah, we did.
I didn't know whether you had an Irish Jeremy Beagle, like where they have in America they have The Office, but an American version. I didn't know if you had like an equivalent show over there,
No. Oh, there was one, the Mike Murphy show, but that was when I'm talking about 25 years ago, and it wasn't anywhere near the standard. So we're down to 10,000 feet. We have to run the approach check.
Yeah, 10. Sorry, what thousand feet? Sorry, Joey.
We're down through 10,000 feet. So
down through. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Sorry. So.
2,500.
Approach checklist.
Yeah.
Cabin crew
are advised.
Seatbelts
are on.
Briefing nav aids.
Sorry, you just broke up there.
So briefing and nav aids. Briefing and nav aids.
It's confirmed and set now for ILS runway 01.
MDAVDH.
It's actually 2,460 feet.
Okay, and ECAM status
is checked.
And EFS and iPad stowed.
Is stowed. Because the airport elevation here is really high.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm just wondering, what's EFS? What's EFS? What is that?
EFB and iPad.
Oh, is that? It's got. Oh, is it B? Oh,
okay. Okay. So I would highly suggest. Again, yeah. I would highly suggest now we start getting out as far as flap 2.
Flap 2.
Okay. Sorry, I mean with
flap
stages. 1. Yeah, flap 1.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, flap 1. Manage the speed.
Manage speed.
And I'll activate the approach phase right there.
Okay.
So manage speed.
Manage speed.
It's not managed.
Okay, I'm just going to reset the.
I'll push the manage. There we go. It's managed. Okay.
Okay, managed.
2,500.
There we go. And arm the approach.
Arm the approach.
Okay.
2,500.
There you go. Approach is armed. That's because the train underneath us.
Okay. Can I introduce a little bit of speed brakes? I'm getting a note. Oh no, okay, we're okay.
I'd be okay there at the moment. Put the gear down if you wish.
2,500.
And gear down.
Gear down. And if you want to go to flap 2 now, okay. What speed are you at?
I'm just outside the aircraft at the moment, but flap 2, 3, 2, 1.
Flap 2. There we go. Okay, you don't have a glide slope indicating here at the moment, so when I tell you now, you need to give the aircraft a VS of... It needs to be a VS of 900 feet down, okay?
Okay.
And
how do I activate that?
So you'll come up here up to see, not the altitude one, but the one to the right.
I've got 900 in there ready.
Oh, sorry, it's okay. The glide slope is in. Is that coming in?
Okay, great.
I just see the glide slope is that coming activated there, so we're in good shape.
But if it, obviously I've put minus 900. Will it activate that minus 900 drop?
No, you'd have to put minus 900 in and pull it.
And pull. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Now, if the glide slope goes true here a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
You might have to catch it from above. I'll tell you exactly how to do that, okay?
And Kim, I'd just like to say thank you ever so much for the TikTok gifts. Again, for those that are interested in gifting, they will get mentioned if you are a top gifter from the next stream. And this will be the top gifters from the last stream, and Kim was one of them. Thanks ever so much. And sorry, back in the comment. So we might have to quiet down a little bit while we get through this bit.
Yeah, this is so... Oh, you've got Glide Star and Lodestar together. That's perfect.
Yeah.
You're perfect. Okay, so now we're on final approach. Viva Las Vegas!
Oh, I can't wait to
look at the strip ahead of us. You can see
I can't wait to hit the casinos tonight, Jerry, with the crew.
Yeah, it'd be good.
As long as we've got enough time to do that, of course. Get enough rest.
Yeah, we're probably another 24 hours before we're back in again.
Yeah. Thanks, Jenna, for the gifts as well. And Craig Salter, Patreon member. So what's the difference between Jeremy Beadle and a clock?
Where's this going?
Okay, nothing. They both have a big hand and a little hand.
Oh. Boom, boom.
There we go. It wasn't my joke, people. It was. I'm going to blame Craig for that one. Just in case there's any offence there, any Jeremy Beagle fans. Yeah. sorry, Craig Salter said. Steve Rowe, Patreon member. Jerry already getting the chips out of his pocket that he won last time he was in Vegas.
I'm trying to actually get the cards out here and have a game, quick hand before we land.
Pilot 4 said, I live here in Las Vegas. Oh, that's pretty cool. Drive safe. How cool is that? Thanks for the gifts, everybody, as well. Appreciate it. Kim is gifting. Kim Williams is gifting. Thanks so much. I appreciate that, Kim. We're on final to Las Vegas. We've got all the hotels there on the left-hand side. Look at that.
Yeah, that's incredible. I haven't seen the scenery before in Flight Sim, so this is interesting.
Oh, Kim, bank account empty now. Look, listen, Kim. You do not. I just want to stress everybody. You do not have to gift. It's much appreciated. Just having everybody on the stream, tapping that screen, sharing. Yeah, I do appreciate it though. Thanks, Kim. From me and Jerry, thank you.
Absolutely.
I do appreciate it.
Thanks, Kim.
Steve Rose laughing there. See, Steve had the smart idea. He signed up to the Patreon instead. It's
he did
cheaper.
Indeed.
Oh dear. For
okay,
those,
arm the spoilers.
Yeah, you arm the spoilers, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so landing checklist.
We do another stage of flaps. Flap 3, I should say.
Yes, flap 3.
Go.
And full flaps.
Flaps full. And I just call Yvonne down the back, make sure everything's all good for landing.
Okay.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Double tap there as well. Okay.
Okay, landing checklist.
Yes, please. Is Q&A set?
Auto throttle.
Speed.
ECAM memo.
Landing. No blue.
Okay, landing checklist complete.
You are clear to land, Dan.
Clear to land.
So what's the excuses for today?
I don't know.
It's windy and gusty. It's windy
and gusty. Yeah. So, but actually, if you look at the wind, I don't know whether it's showing like it's 24, but it's pretty much straight down the middle. I can take that.
It is.
Yeah.
You can take that. All right.
Okay.
Should have put you on the other runway.
Oh my word. Autopilot off. Disengage.
Okay. Yep.
And we can see the strip over there. Wow.
So is the autopilot off on your side?
Autopilot is off. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I need to get down a little bit.
Okay. Just keep watching the.
Yeah. The the glide slope. Sorry. Yeah.
500. 400.
8. Okay, you're stabilized.
Okay, stabilized landing.
300. 100 above. 200. Minimum. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Okay, reverse thrust.
Hey. Spoilers, reverse screen decel. Nice and safe. Yes, take a turn to the right.
Turn to the right.
And your controls is disconnected.
Oh no.
Yeah, so you're okay. You turn to the right there.
Okay, turn to the right. Oh my word, can you believe that?
Yeah, okay, so I'm watching the stream now, so it's basically straight across the runway, and you can pick a stand anywhere you like on the far side.
I tell you what, that would have been quite exciting if you were actually pilot flying.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just looking at what cleanup I have to do myself now. I mean,
I think you'd be safe enough once you get going straight across the runway, get safe onto the tarmac, and then you can do whatever you want.
Okay,
Start the AP was always a good one. Start the AP was always good. Because I noticed you landed and I was still about 400 feet.
People always clap. We can hear that. Well, I can get the gifters.
Yeah.
But there we go. That's the cheer in the back. Top gifters from the last stream. Okay, let's. Oh, Jerry's just a passenger now, by the looks of it.
I'm just a passenger sitting here doing nothing.
Okay, we'll take the gate over there on the left-hand side. So welcome to Las Vegas, everybody.
Good job, the police aren't out there doing speeding tickets.
Just looking at that. I mean, look at that.
It looks more impressive from the wheels, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
It looks more impressive from the wheels. That's a good view. That is. I like that. Just for your information, I'm still sitting on the runway.
It's not good. I'm just looking out to turn into these. Is it the white lines there? The
yellow. You're looking for a yellow line. There's pick any yellow line onto the gate.
Okay, there we go.
Oh,
so is the yellow dotted or
no, it shouldn't be dotted.
No, I didn't think it was. Okay, that truck's in the way, so I'm gonna have to. Oh my word, we've messed this one up already. But the truck's in the way. Look, I just can't have the fuel truck there. That's how we'll do.
The next one. Go the next one.
We'll get the next one then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's low there. I just had word in from the cabin crew. The stag party's getting a little rowdy in the cabin. Might need a police at the gate. Oh, right.
Oh dear. Okay.
Okay, let's try and get this parked in quickly. I'll just give the cleats a heads up, just to make sure that they're there. Dan the man, you've done
There
it.
we go. Okay, parking brake.
Okay.
And engine 2 and engine 1. Okay, so we are in Las Vegas. Thank you ever so much for everyone who's joined. And yeah, that was another successful flight, Jerry. Thanks ever so much.
Not at all. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, and you know, I just again want to say ever some, you know, I can't thank everybody enough who joins the streams. Wherever you're watching, TikTok, Twitch or YouTube, I do appreciate it. And can I just obviously give a good shout out again to the Patreon members that are on board this evening, and the top gifters as well over on TikTok. I do appreciate it.
Clear doors.
Yeah,
sorry, everyone just asked us. Okay, for the doors.
I thought you had a bit of a tick then, Jerry. I was just thinking, yeah. Anyway, but thank you so much, Dan and Jerry, for another safe flight. Great flight, lads. Oh well, thank you ever so much. Thank you, Pilot 4 as well. Thank you, Steve Rowe. And again, for those that do want to join the Patreon, you can do so, and you can grab yourself an economy, business class, or first class seat on the streams, on the simulator streams, and you get a few other extra benefits as well. Obviously, being a Patreon member, you get the behind the scenes posts, so you know, like spec of PCs, etc. There's going to be a post shortly this week, probably on the weekend, where I'll be going through some of the hardware, flight sim hardware in more detail as well, and that was a request by one of the Patreon members. So yeah, I'm really pleased with everybody joining the stream tonight, and I'm pleased that we got there as well. So it's always a nice feeling when we get down nice and safe. Jerry, do you want to sort of say hello and say bye?
I just to even add on to what Dan was saying, it really is nice seeing the same guys, the regulars, coming in on a regular basis, and you know, the more you do that, the more we're willing to keep going with this, and we'll build it and build it into something great. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I agree, and you know, we're trying to do something different with these streams that, you know, not other people haven't done yet. So you'll see that we've done obviously the shared cockpit live. I think we were the first to do that live. I mean, there are shared cockpit videos with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, but not in a live scenario. We've also have done walkarounds tonight, you know, where Jerry's took us at a walk around the Airbus A320 before the flight. We've also are looking now to we've also got the multi-cam view, and I can't switch over to that now because Jerry's left his first officer's seat, but as you've seen at the start of the stream, can you
can,
okay.
but you can show everybody where I am.
Okay,
and this is where
this is the danger of when it disconnects. Okay, so Jerry Cam is he looks like he's hopped onto a different aircraft. I think he's ready to go on another flight.
The whole aircraft is powered down on the runway, and it's just sitting here.
Oh man, it's crazy.
That was the point where it disconnected. And,
it's crazy. Yeah,
I was left here. Okay.
But we you know what we're trying to do is bring something a little bit different each week. We're trying to make the streams better and better, and with your support on the channel, whether it's by liking, sharing, subscribing over on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, whatever, or supporting on the Patreon side, it all helps. You know, give the momentum to actually making it worthwhile essentially. So
absolutely.
Thanks ever so much, and bye for now. I think we'll go and sort of have a look at the external views at the airport. So it's absolutely crazy, We're over in Las Vegas.
Let's go gambling.
Let's go gambling. Me and Joe are going to go off, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so